If you ever wondered why you get results but you can't keep them, there's one simple reason, and it's a principle that you're missing. It's not a protocol that you're missing. It's a principle, it's a value, it's a belief. And that principle is own, don't loan. Too many people get results because they're loaning those results, right? And what I really mean by that is that they're being codependent on someone. An easy example is a trainer or something like that, trainer, coach, whichever. And then you go to that trainer and you say, hey, I need you to push me through a workout. Tell me what to eat. I need you to measure me every couple of weeks so I stay motivated and call me when I don't show up. And the trainer's like, yes, sweet. I'm going to do that. I'm your boy. And then they do that. And then you get a result. You get a mad result in 12 weeks. And then you lose it 4 weeks later or whatever it is because something happened. Doesn't matter what it is. Trainer moved. You got sick or didn't get sick, or I don't know, there was road work, something happened, right? And then you go back to your default. Now, maybe this isn't you. Maybe it's someone that you know. I'm talking about this and someone's coming to mind. But either way, there's one key reason why people do this, and it's because they're loaning their results. In business, in life, in relationships, does not matter. They're loaning. They are codependent upon the teacher, so to speak. The teacher is actually more of a helper than they are as a guide. And so you need to move from loaning to owning. And that key principle changes everything. Now, this podcast is an old podcast from a different channel that I put into this. And so it's, I guess, a podcast or YouTube video, whatever you want to call it. I don't really mind. However, it's from an old program. I used to run a program called the BossFit 30. So if I reference it, doesn't exist anymore. I've got some other programs though that you might be interested in, or maybe not, whatever. They're going to be in the notes below. You can check them out. Otherwise, this podcast will go on and speak about why it's so important and how you can actually move from loaning to owning. So when you get your results, you get to keep them for good. I hope you enjoy the podcast. I'll see you on the other side. Well, it's me the whole time through, so I'll see you through. Which is interesting because I used to be own, don't rent. And then when I said once own, don't loan, I'm like, oh, that's much more catchier. So if that's catchier, even a word, it is now. If it's not. If it is, I wrote a book, apparently. Anyway, point being, own, don't loan. So what do I mean? What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to take you back to a little story. And I remember when I was pretty young in the industry. So I was very fortunate. I started the industry when I was 15, the fitness industry. And by the age of 18, I was managing that gym. By the age of 19, I was managing 3 gyms. And I was all in the industry at the point. So 20 years ago, actually, next month. And so at one point it came online for me that I was telling these people, I'm like, I'm going to push you through your workout. I'm going to tell you what to eat. I'm going to measure you, make sure I write down your diet with you, set your goals with you. If you don't show up, I'm going to call you. I'm going to keep you accountable so you can get your results that you want. And the thing is that people did get their results. They did. And then something would happen. Something in life would change. It could be anything from new job, house, broken arm, change of season. It could be a whole range of things. And then what I found is that person reverted to, let's call it square one. They would yo-yo effectively. The thing though is that all they did was return to their default settings. So even though they got results while they were hyper-focused with me, I was helping to perpetrate what really is a codependent relationship. So their results were dependent upon our relationship. They were loaning. They were only loaning, leasing, renting their results. Whereas I had this other group of people that they got their results slower. They showed a genuine curiosity in why we were doing what we're doing and read their own books on nutrition as well. And they even sometimes would go and learn things that I wasn't aware of at the time. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I should know about this. So these individuals had much slower progression. But the key thing there is that they actually were progressing. And those individuals still to this day have owned their results. They've kept them. And the thing is that they started to create dependence on themselves, then independence, and move into interdependence. And what we are really looking at here is codependent relationships. And so a lot of individuals within the fitness industry that come in as clients end up loaning their results from their coach. And as long as they're aware of that and they're happy with that, that's fine. Just understanding though is that means that they never own the results. They never get to keep them, right? They've always got a landlord of their results. And so one of the key things when we start looking at BossFit 30, which is calm mind, strong body, is I can't give that to you. What I can offer you is a variety of different pathways for you to be able to give that to yourself for good. Calm mind, strong body, for good. You got to own your results, don't loan them. And so this is for anyone that feels like they go back to square one all the time as far as the yo-yo is concerned, or if you're wanting to get to the next level. It's the same thing, right? Good to great. Whether you're in any of those positions, these principles are the same. Own, don't loan. Take radical responsibility, and you earn what you learn. You earn what you learn, right? Really, really important. And no one can take that away from you. And so the knowing now the power behind that is one of the reasons why I'm like, you should basically work me out of a job. It is from a personal training standpoint. 100%. That's what I want, because that's how we actually move to intergenerational health. When we own things, we pass that on to people. We don't pass on what we loan. If I own a home, I get to pass it on to the next generation. If I'm only renting my home, I can't pass that on to the next generation. There's no wealth in that. There's no intergenerational health in that. And so that's why this analogy is so important and so beautiful, is that whatever you get to earn and learn, rather, the next generation can learn and earn from you. Now, we all know that some generations lose the money and all that sort of stuff, but put yourself and put your family and put everyone around you in the best position to be able to leverage off what you learn. Crucial. So the two main things that we look at here is probably more to do with our mental approach to it, and also our method, basically the physical approach, but more about our planning, so to speak. Now, a couple of key things when we look at the mind to be able to make that shift to really owning this and taking it to the next level. One is what's known as a healthy responsibility. And so there's this pattern of thinking which is a responsibility sort. And what we see with this pattern is that there's commonly an over responsibility or an under responsibility. Now, if I'm over responsible for someone else, I'm going to be under responsible here. If I'm under responsible for someone else, then I'm probably going to be over responsible for myself. And what we're looking for here is this balance of healthy responsibility. And what healthy responsibility is knowing what's within my realm of responsibility. Now, when I look at the word responsibility, it's the things that I have the ability to respond with. And so that's going to be 4 things. It's my speech, my thoughts, my feelings, and my behavior. Feelings are different to emotions, by the way. Feelings are how we describe our emotions. Hence why two people can feel basically the same butterflies in their stomach. One person is like, I'm feeling nervous. Other person is like, I'm feeling excited. Same emotion, same energy emotion, 2 different labeling of the feeling that they're experiencing. And so understanding what's within our power, in our responsibility, allows us to go, what is within my responsibility? And if I'm relying on someone else, if I'm passing my health on to them, then they're going to be over responsible and I'm under responsible for my results, right? I'm under responsible for my health. They're over responsible for my health. That won't be a long-term solution. If that's how we start with the goal of moving forward, then we start to see some different results and progression and ownership within our own health outcomes. The other one is there's no shortcuts. Now, understanding that there's no shortcuts is a powerful thing, because it means that we can actually start to move in the fastest way possible, which is usually a straight line. And I know progression is not a straight line, but more in the sense if I try and find shortcuts, I always come back to the same place, realizing the only way through it is through it. I can't go around it, can't go under it, can't go over it. I just have to go through it. And when we accept that, we're able to absolutely just go through and do the work. And it really can help remove the emotion from it. It is the shortest way, the fastest way to do it is to understand there are no shortcuts. That's the shortcut. The other one is, and the last one probably in this space, is making sure you're in the mindset of investing in you. Investing in you. Time, attention, money. So time, eyeballs, money. And investing in you can be a variety of different things. It can be reading, it could be listening to podcasts, it could be actually training, it could be keeping your 1 hour a day for you. That's your goal, whether that's broken up in different ways or whether, however, it doesn't matter, but you have to invest in you. And sometimes people that are really over responsible for other people struggle with this because they don't see themselves as valuable enough to really put that time aside. But I assure you, if I actually more often than not, and if it's not the case, you got to get different people around you. But if I went and actually surveyed the people around them, more often than not, the people around them that they're looking after is like, I wish this person would look after themselves more. Because when I run myself into the ground to look after you, then who's going to look after me? I'm relying on someone else to look after me. It is time for you to look after you. Invest in you. That is time, money, and your attention. Super crucial. And if you find that challenging, great. It's meant to be. That's what makes it worth it. The other thing from there is a method. So what's your perfect repeatable week? What is a week that your default week that you can repeat again and again and again? Some weeks you might miss a day or here or there, or some weeks are better as well, right? That's great. But what's your perfect repeatable week that you're looking for? That perfect repeatable week has to have and maintain some form of a sustainable approach. It should stretch you, but not break you. All right. If anything, once you've got your perfect repeatable week, you're actually able to stretch yourself from there. Now, the powerful thing about this as well is that if I was to map out your last 20 weeks, what would your default, what would your average look like? The goal here is raising your default. When we look at the Life Athlete Matrix, it's helping people move to a higher stage on that Life Athlete Matrix, which gives them far greater participation, perspective, like patience, flexibility with food, and flexibility in stage of life and the people around them and how they're going to approach their day-to-day and their week-to-week. So sustainable approach that's going to help increase your default is crucial. And the last part of the method there is your daily. Now, I did the podcast, I think, yesterday on your daily default, but what needs to change is how we address things daily. Now, what commonly happens is that this won't feel like much of a change. You look back, I'm going to fast forward a year, and everything has changed. But it only has to be small changes on the day, changes that will stretch you a little bit, but changes that you could do that you would do. Because here's the deal, 12 months from now, that time is going to pass anyway. And the difference will be whether or not you've invested in you, you've accepted no shortcuts, you've taken responsibility, and you've built out your perfect repeatable week, which has a sustainable approach that you can show up different day to day. That will yield a different result for you in 12 months' time and allow you to have continual progress and build a new default. And on that note, team, I'm done. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you got a clear idea now of how you can move from loaning to owning. If you weren't already doing it, but if you stayed this long, then I'm assuming that it's something that's going to be beneficial for you to do, at least in some areas of your life. And if you want to own the next level for you, whatever that is, I know it sounds kind of cliche, but I'm talking about the key thing here being present under pressure. If you're present under pressure, you're going to lean into your potential and you're going to perform like to your potential every single time. And if you want to learn how to own that, I created a step-by-step guide. You can see it below. It takes about 30 minutes to walk through it. And you'll leave that with an idea of the pathway that you need to follow to be able to do that exactly. But that's me done. I'm out. Until next time, peace and pizza. I'll see you soon.